Hello, Mr. Cove here, and today we're going to be talking about stretching for basketball. When you're young, you can walk into a gym, call next while you're tying your shoes and be okay. You might not be sharp or have your shot dialed in, but you might not be stiff or moving slowly, when you're young enough to do that. As you get older, that starts to change, and you need to do more to get yourself ready to play. Warming up is important, but stretching should become a part of a routine as well to help prevent injuries and feel better as you start out in the first game. Let's discuss warming up briefly first, and I think this should be more individually specific for whatever works. Some people might want to hit a treadmill, bike, jog around the gym, etc. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to this. If you're warm and feel good to go, whatever you're doing should be fine. If you're not feeling that way going into the first game, then I do have some suggestions for you. I prefer to use the weight room to warm up. I'll do some pull-ups, some push-ups, toe raises, low weight leg extensions, some squats. Nothing that would be called a workout, just enough to get the blood flowing through my entire body. And then I do some stretching. Let's be clear about stretching though. This is something that shouldn't just be a pre-game routine and might not even be a part of it if it's not something that it feels, like it's helping you get ready. But something you do often to keep your muscles and joints healthy and to prevent injuries. If you stretch, but it doesn't seem to do much, right before you play, then, don't do it right before you play. Just keep it as something you're doing at other times. For me, though, it does help me feel more ready to go, so I do it then as well. I do prefer to shoot around starting inside and working my way out. Once I get a few shots at the 3-point line, then I start moving with purpose, like, actually practicing and working on things and not just getting the body moving as a warm up. Now let's get to stretching. You could do this before playing, after, on off days, when you work out or whatever. But it should be something you do multiple times a week, if not daily. Let's go over some specific basketball stretches I'd suggest you do. First is going to be hanging from a bar. I do this with both palms in and out. And although this can challenge your grip and feel uncomfortable, you do want to try to relax while you're doing this and get as much of a stretch as you can. Feel your body sinking down and getting good stretch on your shoulders, lats, back, and maybe even chest. You can also get some spine decompression while you're doing this as well. And it's just a great thing for overall shoulder health. Push yourself on how long you can hold this while also trying to relax. And you'll be able to do this longer and longer the more that you do it. Shoulder health is key for basketball players, so don't skip this one, even if it feels hard for you when you first try it out. Keep trying with it. Next, I'd make sure you're stretching your back out. Your back may not seem like a key muscle while you're playing, but it's worked out quite a bit playing basketball. My preferred way of doing this is laying on my back and bringing my legs to my chest, holding my legs with my hands. You should get a good lower back stretch with this. Obviously, your quads are heavily involved with basketball, so you need to be stretching those as well. I'd suggest doing this standing while holding your leg behind you or using a box or something else in the gym to hold your foot in place. You want to be sucking in your stomach and keeping your back straight, and this will help stretch your hip flexors as well. You can also do this on the ground face down and use like a cable or something pulling it. But I would do most of your exercises standing up if you can. Next, we need a hamstring stretch, and this will help protect our back as well. Hamstrings are frequently pulled while playing basketball, so this is an important one. I suggest stretching this at an angle while standing with your leg out to the side slightly and your ankle turned in, then leaning down into the stretch. You can use the wall or a box or something to do this. This will help stretch the outside of your lower leg, which often gets tight from playing basketball, while you're also stretching your hamstrings here. If any of you guys have had that pain on it's not quite your calf, but like the lower outside of your leg, this is something that I used to get. And once I started doing these stretches, I never got it again. You can do this laying down with a towel or a cable as well. But again, I would encourage you to do it while standing. And then most importantly, we want to stretch our calves. This is a muscle that is heavily worked with basketball and tightens up easily. Very common injury while playing basketball, and has some other issues associated with it, like plantar fasciitis. We'll want to hit the calves from multiple angles. First, I do standing bent knee stretch. This will stretch the most commonly pulled area of the calf when playing basketball, kind of like the right where the muscle starts to bulge out on the bottom. That's usually where your calf strains, and it's usually in a bent knee position. We'll want a standing straight leg stretch as well on a stair or anything else that works. And finally, we'll want a standing straight leg stretch with our leg behind us as well. This is a position that Achilles injuries often take place in, and we'll want to get full stretches here to lower the chance of injuries to that. And then last of all, stretch for anything specific that you're having issues with. Of course, you might have some issues from work, working out or whatever that aren't basketball related, but need attention paid to nevertheless. All of our lives are different, and all of our bodies are different. So anything that's bothering you while playing, address it. And, just because it's not a basketball stretch, it might be something that's very important for your own physical health as well. Any muscle or tendon tightness that you feel while playing should be attempted to be addressed while stretching to let you play better and avoid injuries. Now, one last thing I want to go over, using a roller or something, that is fine. What I would do with the calves, if you can, if you have really tight calves, and I don't think that using a roller is the best way to help with this, but if you can, see a physical therapist that is capable of doing needling. That can alleviate the muscle knots probably better than anything. If you can't do that, either due to time or, you might not have that available in your area where you have physical therapists that are qualified to needle, then what I would do is try to work it out yourself. And I would use your fingers for this. Try to find a place in your calf or anywhere else, but the calves are going to be the biggest muscle knots for basketball players usually. I get them in my triceps sometimes too, and this works the same way. But you, and we'll just show you with the tricep here. So you're just kind of picking a spot on your tricep that hurts when it's touched, and you just kind of take hold of it and push it in and squeeze it, and you squeeze it very hard. And oftentimes you'll start to feel the muscle twitch and reacting to that pressure. You keep doing that until you no longer have the twitches. And almost anytime I've done this, after I do that, it feels more stretched out and it's no longer painful to touch other than just the one very spot that I just squeezed the crap out of, right? But you can do that on your calves. I do that all the time, maybe a couple times a week where they're tight enough where they're doing that. And once I do that, the muscle all the way through is usually not sensitive to touch anymore. It feels looser, and there aren't any, spots that hurt when I'm touching them. But before I do that, that is how they feel. So it obviously has an effect. Again, I would do needling instead of that, since, we may not be doing it right or squeezing too hard or who knows what. Needling is essentially the same thing, but it's being done by a professional that can find those spots and take care of them probably a little better than we can ourselves. But again, if that's not an option, try that out, see if that helps you. And that can be done on, any muscles of your body that are having those problems. Calves are just really tough to roll out since we don't have enough weight kind of pushing against them. And again, I found it to be much more effective to just target those knots with my fingers and squeeze them out until they're taken care of. All right. Well, that's all I have for you guys for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. See you later.